Hello, good morning, class. Welcome back to our offline modality of our discussion on Mathematics 9. We are in week 4, using module number 4 entitled Age and Number Relation Problems Involving Quadratic Equations. And this is part 1 of module 4 discussion. For this video lesson, we are to achieve the following objectives. That is, to translate real-life problems into mathematical equations, and second is to solve real-life problems with the use of the skills in solving quadratic and rational equations. So for this video lesson, part 1, we have two lessons. Lesson 1 talks about age problem. So what are we going to do? To help us solve age problems, let us recall some of the few translating skills on various English phrases into mathematical symbols. So, first, English phrase or English sentence that we are going to translate into mathematical symbols is number 1. 15 increased by twice a number n is greater than 12. How do you translate that one into mathematical symbols? 15 increased by twice a number n is greater than 12. Okay, that one. 15 increase means plus, twice a number n, 2n is greater than, so greater than symbol, this one, 12. Or you can write 2n plus 15 greater than 12. With nagyapon na siya. Number 2. 5 times a number x decreased by 3 is 18. 5 times a number x decreased by 3 is 18. Our answer, 5 times a number x, or 5 times x, decrease means minus by 3 minus 3 is 18. Is means equal symbol, then 18. Next is 24 is less than twice a number b increased by 1. 24 is less than twice a number b increased by 1. 24 is less than, okay, symbol na less than, twice a number b, 2b, increased by 1. Increase means plus, then 1. Number 4, statement. 35 more than thrice a number y is less than or equal to 10. 35 more than thrice a number y is less than or equal to 10. What do you think will be your mathematical symbols? Let's start to check. 35 more than is plus, thrice a number y, 3y, is less than or equal to, 10. Do you have the same answer? Number 5. 16 less than 4 times a number m. 16 less than 4 times a number m. Okay, this one. 16 less than, pa-backward. We write 16 right after the operation minus, kaya ang phrase na less than is not representing anymore less than symbol, but an operation. So 16 less than minus 4 times a number m, 4m. So you see, lahi ang representation sa phrase na less than o is less than, diba? So, why is it important to master the skill on translating English phrases into mathematical symbols? What does it have to do with solving word problems involving quadratic equation? So these questions will be answered little by little as we go on with our discussion on word problems involving quadratic equation, specifically age and number relation problem. So what is it? In order to get the correct answer of each word problems, we need to follow a few steps. And what are these steps? So the steps in problem solving are the following. Number one, we need to read and analyze the problem by identifying the given and missing values using variables. So again, step number one is to read and analyze the problem by identifying the given and missing values using variables. Number two, we need to formulate the equation based on translated phrases. 3. Solve the problem using a more convenient method. So we have 5 methods, no, dimensions, solving for the roots of the quadratic equation, since these word problems will involve quadratic equation. And lastly, check and verify your answer against the given equation being formulated. So these 4 steps, we will use them as we solve word problems involving quadratic equation. Okay, moving to our first example of the age problem. So the problems goes like this. Sheila and Ruby are sisters. If Sheila is twice as old as Ruby, and the product of their ages is 98, how old are they now? Again, Sheila and Ruby are sisters. Mitsuon. If Sheila is twice as old as Ruby, so kung si Sheila kuno kaduhaon ang edad ni Ruby. So kisa di magwong nila. Si Sheila. So ang manghod si Ruby. Liman ka, ang edad ni Ruby kaduhaon mo ng edad ni Sheila. That's one observation, no, sa statement. Next, and the product of their ages is 98. Kung i-multiply ang lang mga edad, mabot og 98. Ang pangutana, how old are they now? What are their ages now? So first is to read and analyze the given problem, identify what is given and what is asked. So for a given, we will let X be the age of Ruby, as we know that Ruby is the youngest. Then 2X be the age of Sheila, as she is the oldest. Diba? Gingon din kanina, Sheila is twice as old as Ruby. Kaduhaon ang edad ni Ruby, mauna ang edad ni Sheila. Formula. Ang formula atong giderive gikan sa second phrase sa statement. First statement, no? Sheila and Ruby are sisters. Then if Sheila is twice as old as Ruby and the product of their ages is 98, how old are they now? So ang kaning nga equation nga x times 2x is equal to 98 gikan sa statement nga the product of their ages is 98. So gi-multiply ang edad ni Ruby, which is x, times edad ni Sheila, which is 2x. The result is 98. The question is, how old are they now? So muna ito pangitaon. But for the meantime, we will stick to this formula. Equation nga itong gi-formulate. Next part, how do we solve? So, if you'll remember, naani siya sa discussion sa module number 3, no? Katong factored form. Okay. So, when we multiply x times 2x, that is 2x squared. Copy equal, copy 98. Next, how do we solve for the value of x? Okay, as you can see on the solution, I put braces on the left and the right side, and I put 1/2 and 1/2. But on our previous discussion, the only way to eliminate 2, ang kanang 2 tapad na x squared is divided by 2, or pwede gyapon times 1/2 on both sides. Mora gyapon na storya. So that will become 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. 98 divided by 2 is 49. So x squared equal 49. So to solve for the value of x, we use the square root property. So square root both sides, Square root, put square root on the left side and square root on the right side. So therefore the value of x is positive negative 7, since 49 is perfect square. Next, lastly, we need to verify if our answers will justify our question here. How old are they now? Since there are two values of x, positive 7 and negative 7, we will use x positive 7 since there is no negative age. So, we didn't pwede gamiton ang negative 7, but instead positive 7. So, when we plug in or when we substitute the value of x, which is 7, to the equation, it would give us, balik ta sa equation, x times 2x is equal to 98. So, when x is positive 7, so 7 times 2 times 7. Din 2 times 7, sir. Din sa ng 7. Okay, ang x ipulihan og 7. Then 2x, 2 times 7 equal to 98. Then copy 7. 2 times 7, so sa ikaduhang parenthesis, 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 7 is 98. So when we multiply their ages, the result is 98. Since the age of Ruby is 7 years old, while the age of Sheila is 14 years old. Kuha. Diba? Kaduhaon ang edad ni Ruby, mga edad ni Sheila. So, Sheila is 14. Si Ruby, 7. Next, example number 2 of the age problem. Zeki is 5 years older than his friend Christine. If the product of their ages is 50, how old are they now? Hindi po pariharan, no? Again, Zeki is 5 years older than his friend Christine. So, Christine, babae. Zeki, lalaki. Kaya gamit mo siya ang word na his. Friend Christine. So, pila edad ni Zeki? 5 years older. So, labaw og 5 katuig ang edad ni Zeki nga to ni Christine. Given, we will let x be the age of Christine since Christine is the youngest. Punta kay bawas sa edad ni Christine. Pero i-state nga ang edad ni Zeki is 5 years older, so labaw ra og 5 sa edad ni Christine. So if Christine is represented by x, ang iyang edad kay x. So edad ni Zeki, to represent the age of Zeki as the oldest, we will simply add 5 to the age of Christine, which is x. Munang x plus 5. Kuha. Ako ba? So, manong x ang edad ni Christine kasi manang youngest. Matakibaw pila edad ni Christine. Pero si Zeki, dimension man sa statement nga 5 years older, labaw ra og 5 ang edad ni Zeki. Nga to kang Christine, which is x. So, formula. Where did we get this formula? X times x plus 5. Again, gikan sa second statement. If the product of their ages is 50, so, ilang edad? Kung i-multiply ng edad, the result is 50. So, ang edad ni Christine, x. Multiply sa edad ni Zeki, x plus 5 is equal to 50. Okay, diyan ang gikan. Solution. So, when this is still factored form, no? Part is sa module number 4. So, x times binomial x plus 5, the distribution, x times x, square. X times 5, 5x. Then, we transfer positive 50 to the left side, it becomes minus 50, equating to 0. To complete the trinomial or the quadratic equation. Given this quadratic trinomial or quadratic equation, it's either you will use factoring method, completing the square method, or quadratic formula. As long as asa ana nilang tulo ka method ang imong komportable nga gamiton. The same answer gyapon na ma-derive. Okay? So for this video lesson, I make use of the factoring method. Why? 5x is the sum, negative 50 is the product. The factors of 50 are 10 times 5. Negative 50, positive 10 times negative 5 is negative 50. And to get the sum 5, positive 10 minus 5 is positive 5. Sum, product, negative 50. Next, by zero product property, we know that x plus 10 is equal to 0 and x minus 5 is equal to 0. So to solve for each value of x is equal to negative 10. Okay, plus 10, inigbalhin, negative 10. Ang x minus 5 equal to 0, ang negative 5, ang minus 5, inigbalhin sa right side, positive 5. So we have two values of x, negative 10 and positive 5. But then again, for verification purposes, we cannot make use of the negative value of x kay what may negative nga edad, no? Walay utangan nga edad. But instead, we will use positive 5. So if we will use the value of x which is positive 5, since there is no negative age, so when we plug in or when we substitute the value of x which is 5 to the equation, x times x plus 5 equal to 50, it will give us, so when x is 5, so 5 first parenthesis, second parenthesis, kaning x plus 5, so when x is 5 plus 5 equal to 50. 5 plus 5 sa ikaduhang parenthesis, that is 10, times 5 sa first parenthesis, that is exactly 50. So check. So therefore, if x is equal to 5 ang atong gigamit, and this is representing the age of Kirstine as the youngest. So ang edad ni Zeki is 10. Sakto? Ang edad ni Kirstine kay 5 man, diba? Kay positive 5 atong gigamit. So if the age of Kirstine is 5, therefore the age of Zeki is 10. Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay, moving to our lesson number 2. That ends already with the age problem. Next is lesson number 2, number relation problem. What shall we do with this? So, to help us solve number relation problems, we will try to recall on this table of values below. Importante kayo ni siya. Okay. This will really help us in translating the word problems involving number relation. Okay, on the left, on the first column on the left, integer. So integer, mga whole number, no? So the integer or integers or the whole numbers could either be represented as consecutive integers, consecutive sa Bisaya pa nagsunod, even consecutive integers, unsa man ang even consecutive, nagsunod ng mga numbers nga walay kida. Then the third set are the odd consecutive, nagsunod ng mga numbers pero naikida. So example ana, the series of numbers that we referred to as integers, consecutive, nagsunod ordinary numbers, 1, 2, 3. Counting numbers man ino, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Then, for the series of numbers for the representing even consecutive, kay even man, so 2, 4, 6, comma, blah, blah, blah. Nagsunod na 8, 10, 12. Then, odd consecutive, kanya may makida, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, blah, blah, blah. How do we represent this series of numbers by variable x? Kani representation. Here, the first, our value of x here is equal to 1 since our first number is 1. Here, sa second set, our first number is 2. So our value of x here is positive 2. The third set, our value of x is 1 since ang first number sa sequence kay 1. To represent that 1 in variables, so when x is 1, so our first representation is x, and that is ang value anang x kay 1. So how do we represent 2? X plus 1, kaya ang atong value sa x kay 1, so that is 1 plus 1 is 2. How do we get 3? How do we represent 3? That is x plus 2. Since x is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3. For even consecutive, when the value of x is 2, so our first number representation kay x, which is 2, followed by dapat 4. How do we represent 4 if x is 2? So So that is x plus 2. Meaning, ang x, atong value sa x kay 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. How do we represent 6? X plus 4. Since x is 2 man kaha. So, 2 plus 4 is 6. How about 8? Kung atong sundan. To represent 8, that would be x plus 6. Knowing that the value of x is 2. So, 2 plus 6 is 8. And the last representation, the first number is 1. So, it is represented by x. To represent 3, that is x plus 2. Knowing that the value of x is 1. So, that is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. To represent 5, that is x plus 4. Knowing that the value of x is 1. Meaning, 1 plus 4 is 5. How about the next number of 5? 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. So, how do we represent 7 in a binomial? This one, that will be x plus 6. Meaning, when x is 1, 1 plus 6 is 7. So, based on the table of representation, asa nila ang pariha? X plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 4. Parihang representation sa even o odd consecutive numbers. Ang consecutive numbers ra mo ilahi. Okay. So that will be kaning third column mo na tong gamiton when we translate mathematical statements involving number relation problem. So how can we use these concepts above to solve number relation problems? Answer: since word problems involve English phrases, we can use the representations found at the third column of the table. Kaning representation, kani siya. Again, kung consecutive numbers lang, x plus 1, x plus 2. Pasabot ang kanang x, the first consecutive number. X plus 1 is the second consecutive number, while x plus 2 is the third consecutive number. While the same man ang representation sa even o odd, so x there is the first consecutive even or consecutive odd number. X plus 2 therefore is the second consecutive even or second consecutive odd. While x plus 4 pareha man sila, mao na ang third consecutive even or third consecutive odd number. Okay, that one. Mo na to ang basihanan. Sample number 1 of number relation problem. If a positive integer is added to its square, the result is 42. What is the value of the positive integer? So, how do we translate this mathematical word problem into symbols? If a positive integer is added, so how do we represent a positive integer? Utakibaw. So, to represent this one, we will write it this way. Given, we will let mag-assume ta x to be the positive integer. Positive integer is represented by x added to its square. So, ang positive integer x gi-add siya sa iyahang square. So, kisa meaning its square. Ang its mean refers to the positive integer represented by x. Nya gi-square ang positive integer. So, meaning the square of x. So, sa taning x, si positive integer. Nya gi-square mas positive integer. Okay. So, therefore, x is the positive integer. X square is the square of the positive integer. Formula. Gi-derive ang formula gikan sa first statement. If a positive integer, which is x, is added plus to its square of x, the result is equal 42. Ano? Again, if a positive integer which is represented by x is added plus to its square, kisag square ang x gihapon, so x square, the result meaning equal na symbol 42, rewrite 42. Question: what is asked? what is the value of the positive integer, or in short, what is the value of x? So given this formula, no, we are to formulate the formula, or we are formulating the quadratic equation na ay linear term, na ay quadratic term, na ay constant term. So part of solving is to arrange the terms in standard form. Since x squared is already positive on the left side, ako siyang giri-write primero, siya ang mag-una, followed by positive x, munang plus x. Then followed by 42. 42 is on the right side of the equation. So in transfer ana, mahimo siyang minus 42. So take purpose, anong mahimo siyang minus? Purpose, reason, sorry. The reason nga na minus 42 na siya because of subtraction property of equality. And equal to 0. So wala na yung number sa right side kundi 0. So given this quadratic equation, we will think of one method that will be used in solving this quadratic equation for the roots, polyfactoring, completing the square, or quadratic formula. In this example, word problem, I made use of the factoring method. 1x is the sum, negative 42 is the product. I get the factors of 42 as 7 times 6, positive 7 and negative 6. 7 minus 6 is positive 1. This is sum. Diba? Kung wala number tapat sa variable x ni plus x, kay imaginary 1 na siya, no? So plus 1x or plus x lagi na siya. Okay, 7 minus 6 is 1. 7 times negative 6 is negative 42. So mo na ang binomial factors x plus 7 of x minus 6 equal to 0. Next, according to zero product property, x plus 7 is equal to 0 o x minus 6 equal to 0. So buwagon. So x plus 7 equal to 0, ang plus 7 ay balhin may mong negative 7. X minus 6 equal to 0, ang minus 6 ay balhin sa right side may mong positive 6. So we have two values of x, negative 7 and positive 6. Pero ang statement there, if a positive integer, so from the word itself positive, so doon may answer negative o positive. So dili gini pwede magamit ang negative 7, but instead we will use positive 6. We use x equal to positive 6 since it is the one that is given above, a positive integer. So when we plug in x equal to 6 to the equation, it would give us, the equation is x plus x squared equal to 42. So x plus x squared equal to 42. When the value of x is 6, so pulihan ang x of 6 plus 6 squared, kay x is 6 man ka, so 6 squared equal to 42. 6 squared, 6 times 6, 36. 36 plus 6. 36, 6 squared is 36, no? Plus 6, 42. So equal. So our solution is, the value of x is 6. Muna ang tubag sa question, what is the value of the positive integer? Meaning the value of x is positive 6. Next, example number 2 of number relation problem. The sum of two numbers is 20. Their product is 64. Find the two numbers. Like po yun siyang statement as compared sa number 1 sa number relation. Balik tayo sa first statement. The sum of two numbers is 20. Their product is 64. Find the two numbers. Kung saan siya pag-represent, sir? We will let B sum is 20 based on the statement, the sum of two numbers. So takibaw, no, unsa ang duha ka number na di man pwede mo represent ang two numbers of x of y. Okay, remember this is quadratic, so dapat we will use only one variable. To represent the two missing numbers, atong represent ang sum. Okay, mo may ibutang the sum of two numbers is 20. The sum is 20 and the product is 64. We can remember mo niya sa katong factoring method, katong Punnett square. Sum is 20, the product is 64. Okay. Using the equation pattern of sum and product, we can generate the quadratic equation that is x squared, first term, no? The x squared minus the sum of x plus the product equal to 0. So, pulihan na to ang sum, pulihan to sa product. Formula, x squared minus, ang sum is 20, manang minus 20x, plus product 64, equal to 0. So, naporma ang quadratic equation. And from this quadratic equation, we will think of a method to be used to solve for the roots of this quadratic equation. Either factoring method, completing the square, or quadratic formula. So what are we going to use? So part of the solution is we will think of a method. And the method that I used here is factoring method na pod. So, but then again, pwede mo completing the square, pwede po mag-quadratic formula. As long as we can arrive at the same solution. So for this video lesson, I made use of the factoring method. Negative 20 is the sum, product is 64. I get the factors of 64 na 4 o 16. Okay, kabawon ta na ang factors of 64 kay na 8 times 8, 64 times 1, 4 times 16 sa pilain. I made use of 4 times 16. Okay, para makuha ang 20. Nya, puro siya negative, negative. Ano naman, kaya ang middle term na to, negative 20 man. So, dili pwede mga plus, plus, no? Okay, even if positive 64, so dili pwede mag plus, plus. Kaya itong middle term is negative 20. So, I use negative minus 4, minus 16, or negative 4, negative 16. So, negative 4 plus negative 16, the sum is negative 20. Negative 4 times negative 16 is positive 64, product. According to zero product property, x minus 4 is equal to 0 and x minus 16 equal to 0. So, to get the value of x, ang minus 4, balhin sa right side, may mo positive 4, as well as x minus 16 equal to 0, ang negative 16, yung balhin, may mo positive 16. So, we have two positive answers, 4 and 16. So, these are the two missing numbers. Find the two numbers, and those answers are 4 and 16. Verify. We will use x is equal to 4 and x equals to 16 since these two numbers can satisfy the given statement above. Sum. If we will add the two numbers 4 plus 16, the result is 20. If we will multiply the two numbers 4 and 16, the result is 64. Correct. Example number 3. For number relation problem, the product of two negative consecutive integers is 24. Find the two numbers. Okay, karon katong gi-discuss kanina sa what's in katong tulo ka columns, representation, diri ito magamit. The product of two negative consecutive integers. So, wala gi-mention no nga consecutive odd or consecutive even. Pero consecutive integers ra. Nga specifically negative consecutive integer. So, we will make use of the first representation katong x plus 1, or x plus 2. Then, the question, find the two numbers. So, duha man ka missing numbers. So, we will only use x or x plus 1. So, given, we will let x be the first consecutive negative integer. First consecutive negative integer. And x plus 2, oh wait, two negative consecutive integers. So, dapat x plus 1 is siya, no? We'll try to check lang. X plus 2 is representing the second consecutive negative integer. This should be again, okay, not a changes, sorry. The product of two positive consecutive even integers is 24. Not a correction. Find the two numbers. So, to represent given let x be the first consecutive negative integer. Okay, to make the correction again, since our statement talks about two positive consecutive even integers, so we will let x be the first consecutive even integer, then x plus 2 is the second consecutive even integer. Where did you get this formula or equation? The product means multiply, no? So kisa multiply the product of two positive consecutive even integers. So multiply ang x of x plus 2, the first and the second consecutive even integer. So x times x plus 2, their product is 24, equal to 24. So when we multiply monomial times binomial, it distribute. So x times x is x squared, x times 2, 2x. Then 24 on the right side will be transferred to the left side. It becomes minus 24 equal to 0. I use factoring method to look for the binomial factors. So again, you can use your own method katong completing the square or quadratic formula as long as you are comfortable. But for this video lesson, I made use of the factoring method. So 2x is the sum, negative 24 is the product. So the factors of 24 are 6 and 4. Negative 24, positive 6, negative 4. To get the sum, positive 2x. So 6 minus 4 is positive 2. Sum, 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. Product. Mo ng x plus 6 o x minus 4 equal to 0. Then 0 product property, x plus 6 equal to 0, therefore x is equal to negative 6. Okay, ang plus 6 inibalhin, negative 6. X minus 4 equal to 0, ang negative 4 inibalhin, positive 4. So going back to the statement, what are the two missing numbers? Two positive consecutive even integers. Even, so walay kida. So manang 4 o 6. Pero state din ha, positive. So ang usa negative 6 man, ang usa positive 4. So ang gamito na ni is positive 4. Okay. Duha ka positive consecutive even. Even is 4 pa ba? Multiples of 2. Okay. So to verify, we will use x equal to 4, positive 4, since negative numbers are missing. Since positive numbers na siya ha. Positive numbers. Okay, part of the correction again. We use positive 4 as the value of x since positive numbers are missing in the problem. So to justify, we plug in x is positive 4 to the formula above. Formula was x times x plus 2 equal to 4. So pulihan ng duha ka x of 4. Hi sir. So when x is 4, pulihan, then ang sunod sa parentheses which is also x, pulihan of 4. Plus 2 and equal to 24. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Times 4 sa gawas is equal to 24. So pangutan na. If x is 4, so therefore the value of x is 4 as the first consecutive even integer. So our second consecutive even integer is 4 plus 2, which is 6. So nasunod no 4 o 6. Again, din ka ng 4 o 6. Okay, when x is 4, kanina mo ito gipili, di ba? X is equal to 4. So when x is 4, so our second number is 4 plus 2, which is 6. Okay. Pasensya sa mga correction that I made in between this video lesson. So what's more? Activity 4.1. Now it's your turn to do. We will answer the 3 word problem siguro or duha posted on the group chat. Show your complete solution for every word problem. So thank you once again for listening to this video lesson. For inquiries or queries, you can message me on Messenger or in our group chat. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.